So question number 8 of this first exercise asks us to find the set of letters of the English alphabet which have reflectional symmetry, that is symmetry related to mirror reflection, about a vertical mirror, a horizontal mirror, and both horizontal and vertical mirrors. Let us first have the first set of letters of the English alphabet. Now, as we all know that how mirror reflection is closely related to the line of symmetry, so let us take lines of symmetry about these letters one by one, which also represents the mirror lines, and let's see if they have reflectional symmetry or not. So let us consider the first letter of the English alphabet, A. Let us take the vertical line of symmetry along this letter, which represents the vertical mirror. So we'll see how this vertical line of symmetry is dividing the letter into two equal halves, and if you fold this letter about this line, we'll see that both the equal halves will coincide. So we can say that we have a reflectional symmetry of this letter A along this vertical mirror. Now, based on the orientation of this letter, we can see that if we draw this horizontal line, so we won't be able to get the two equal halves in this case. So we can say that there is no reflectional symmetry about this horizontal mirror. So for letter A, there is only one reflectional symmetry, that is along this vertical mirror. Let's move on to the next alphabet, which is B. Now for B, based on its orientation, we'll see that there is no vertical mirror reflectional symmetry, as we can see that both the paths which we get along this vertical mirror, such that these are the two paths, they're not equal. So we can say that for this letter B, we'll have this horizontal line acting as the line of symmetry, as these are the two equal halves. So we can say that the reflectional symmetry of this letter is along this horizontal mirror. So here let us take the letters under the respective categories. So we'll say that A is under the vertical mirror category, B is under the horizontal mirror category. Let us move on to the next letter of the English alphabet, which is letter C. Now in letter C, based on its orientation, we'll have this horizontal line, which will be the line of symmetry which represents the reflectional symmetry of this letter about a horizontal mirror. And we can see that based on the orientation of this letter, there will be no reflectional symmetry along a vertical mirror. So hence we can write C as the next letter in the under the reflectional symmetry along a horizontal mirror. Moving on to the next letter, which is letter D of the alphabet set. So we'll again see, based on its orientation, there is this reflectional symmetry along this horizontal mirror. So D is the next letter under horizontal mirror. Moving on to the next letter, which is letter E, we'll see again that based on its orientation, there is no reflectional symmetry of this letter E along a vertical mirror. So again, we'll see that the reflectional symmetry is represented by this horizontal line, which also represents the horizontal mirror. So we'll again have one more letter under this category. Moving on to the next letter, which is letter F. Now in letter F, we see that there is no reflectional symmetry about a vertical mirror as well as a horizontal mirror. So for this letter F, we can say that there is no line of symmetry. Similarly, for the next letter G, based on its orientation, we can also say that there is no line of symmetry for this letter. Moving on to the next letter, which is letter H. If we divide this letter into two equal halves using this horizontal line, we'll see that it's divided into two equal halves, and this line has a reflectional symmetry for this letter along the horizontal mirror. Also, for the same letter H, if we divide the letter in two equal halves such that these are the two equal halves using this vertical line which is being highlighted now, we'll again see that the letter has a reflectional symmetry about this vertical line as well. So we can say that this letter H, falls under both the categories as it is having a reflectional symmetry to both vertical and horizontal mirror. Since it's falling in both the categories, we got the first letter under the category both horizontal and vertical mirrors, which is letter H. Moving on to the next letter, which is letter I. Now in letter I again, we'll see that this vertical line will give the reflectional symmetry about this letter as it's divided into two equal halves. Similarly, if we consider this horizontal line, it is again dividing the letter in two equal halves and also is giving the reflectional symmetry of the letter along this horizontal line. So for this letter I, we can say that we'll again have two lines of symmetry, and thus we can write this letter I again under both these categories and eventually under the category of both horizontal and vertical reflectional symmetry. Moving on to letter J, based on its orientation, we can again see that there is no reflectional symmetry. So we can say that this letter again does not have reflectional symmetry. For letter K, we see that based on its orientation, we can divide this letter in two equal halves such that these are the two equal halves along this horizontal line, and we can again put this letter K under this horizontal reflectional symmetry category. Moving on to the last letter of this set, letter L, we'll see that there is no symmetry. So we can conclude for letter L that it has no line of symmetry. Let us now see the next set of letters. Now let's take the first letter of this set, which is M. Now in M, if we again divide this letter using this vertical line in two equal halves such that these are the two equal halves, we'll see that M has a reflectional symmetry about this vertical line, and there won't be any reflectional symmetry of this letter along the horizontal mirror. So we can write M under the category of the letters which has a reflectional symmetry about the vertical mirror. Let's see the next letter, which is N. Now based on the orientation of this letter N, we'll see that it has no line of symmetry. Moving on to the next letter, which is letter O. If we divide the letter O in two equal halves using this vertical line, we'll see that it has a reflectional symmetry about this vertical line. Again, if we consider this horizontal line and divide the letter in two equal halves using this horizontal line, we'll again see that it has a reflectional symmetry about this horizontal line as well. So for this letter O, we can conclude that it has reflectional symmetry to both vertical and horizontal lines. So we can write this letter O in both the categories and eventually in the last category, which is a combination or a group of letters which has reflection symmetry to both horizontal and vertical mirrors. Moving on to the next letter of the set, which is letter P, we'll see based on its orientation that there is no line of symmetry for letter P. Same is the case with the next letter Q, which has no line of symmetry. Also for letter R, which again has no line of symmetry, and letter S as well, which has no line of symmetry. Let's see now the next letter, letter T, which can be divided in two equal parts, such that these are the two equal parts using this vertical line of symmetry, and we can eventually put this letter T in the category of letters which has reflection symmetry along this vertical mirror. Next, if we see the letter U, which is the last letter of this set, you can again see that we can divide this letter into equal halves using this line of symmetry, such that these are the two equal parts, and we can eventually say that letter U has a reflectional symmetry along the vertical mirror. Hence, we'll put the letter U under this category. Let us see the next set of letters. Now we have the last set of letters on the canvas. So let us see the first letter of the set, which is letter V. Now letter V will divide the letter into equal halves using this vertical line, such that these are the two equal halves. So we can say that letter V has a reflectional symmetry to this vertical line, and based on its orientation we can also conclude that there won't be a reflectional symmetry about the horizontal mirror. So we can write this letter V under the letters who have reflectional symmetry about a vertical mirror. Moving on to the next letter, which is letter W, and we divide this letter into equal halves using this line, such that these are the two equal halves. Again, see that the letter W will also have a reflectional symmetry about a vertical mirror. Next, we have letter X, and in letter X, if we use this vertical line to divide the letter X into equal halves, we'll see that letter X will have a reflectional symmetry about this vertical line or vertical mirror. Again, if we consider this horizontal line or this horizontal mirror, we can say that this letter X is also having a reflectional symmetry about this horizontal mirror. So for this letter X, we can say that it will have two lines of symmetry or reflectional symmetry about both these mirrors. So we can again write this letter X in all the three categories, as it has reflectional symmetry to both the mirrors. Moving on to the next letter of the set, which is letter Y, we can divide letter Y into equal halves using this vertical line, such that these are the two equal halves, and hence we can conclude that letter Y has a reflectional symmetry along its vertical mirror. So we can write letter Y under this category, and there won't be any line of symmetry apart from this for letter Y. Let us see what we'll get in the last letter of the set, which is letter Z, and based on the orientation of this letter, we'll see that there exists no line of symmetry for letter Z. So these are the three categories of letters of English alphabet we'll get. Some of them will have a reflectional symmetry about a vertical mirror. Some of them will have a reflectional symmetry about a horizontal mirror, and some of the letters will be symmetrical to both the horizontal and the vertical mirrors. And this is how we'll answer question number 8.
To learn more about how QMath can help you crack school and board exams, explore QMath Leap, a live online classroom program run by highly experienced and committed teachers.